the moment it doesn't hurt. Okay, and that's how a lot of people live, like in the moment. Do you know what I mean? It's when they have that time to reflect later on. So to me, everyone needs to have a fight because in the moment, it's that might seem like it's the biggest problem, but it doesn't hurt. And then when later on down the track, you've got that opportunity to reflect upon it, and you go, "Oh, probably shouldn't have done that," or I didn't train martial arts from an early age. I sort of got to the age of 29, and I went through some life changing moments, and I made a list of 30 things that I wanted to do before I turned 30.
Right.
And one of those things was to have a professional fight. Similar to Matt, I was involved in the security industry here in SA in some way, shape or form for around about 15 years. And so I've had probably plenty of fights, but never had the opportunity to test myself in a combat sports arena against someone who was there for exactly the same reason. Like I punched on with plenty of pissed dickheads and thrown people out of clubs and probably fought people over the stupidest things in the whole wide world, but I didn't really consider them fights, So I wanted to test my mettle and go, well, this is probably something that I think I can do. I probably felt I had a bit of a tough guy reputation, and I wanted to kind of validate that, not to anyone else but myself, to sort of say, look, this is something I can do. It's a bit of a journey to get in there and obviously compete. I'd drive past this sign every day, MMA gym, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go check that out. So I did, and I rolled in and, like a bit of a peacock, strutted in and was like, hey, I know how to fight. How's this going to happen? And pretty much that's how I met my business partner, Craig, and he's looked at me and gone, all right, well, you look like you'd be all right. How about you come back here for sparring tonight at 7 o'clock.
And had you had any formal training or just doing security work?
Just doing security, yeah. And just, and everyone knows how to throw a punch, but no one knows how to throw a punch.
Yeah.
So like I can hit stuff, but now I was going to learn how to hit stuff properly. And so I come back for sparring that night. Some of the boys touched me up a little bit, I'll be honest. Got
the ego get a little bit dented.
But then I was like, well, no, this is something that I wanted to do, and I didn't lose any teeth. So I was like, that's always a bonus.
Yeah.
So I made a hash of it and felt I'd come back, and much longer afterwards that I got my first opportunity to step in there, and I guess it was probably a really, not a life altering moment, but a real opportunity to sort of reflect. And I remember vividly sort of remembering prior to stepping into my first fight that, not that I was ever scared, like I'd have nights sort of going, laying down, going to sleep, thinking, oh, what happens if I get knocked out in the first minute? You know what I mean? But it's like, you need to trust yourself, what you've sort of done, and the training that you're putting in and the group that I'd surrounded myself with, they were confident in me, and I need to be confident in myself. But I'm sitting there before my first fight, and it probably got to about 15 minutes out. You don't know when you're going to get called, but I figured it was about 15 minutes out, and I've gone like, what am I doing? I don't know this guy. He's done nothing wrong to me. I've done nothing wrong to him.
You got philosophical about it.
Yeah, we were about like, this is getting a bit silly. Like, no, I probably shouldn't do this. But then, I've got, fuck no, I've said I will. All right, no worries. So like, my sort of inner ego come out and said, no, you're an idiot. Get in there, and did get in there. And I remember we started throwing punches as you do. So obviously we touch gloves, and then he landed a couple of big heavy shots, and I've gone, if I could get punched in the head like this, I'm probably going to get knocked out. But no, we had a bit of a good dance, and we got through it, and I was lucky enough to choke him out in the second round. And I'm not unashamed to say this. I got out of the cage and walked back to the room, and obviously had all this high celebration, and it's great. This is fantastic. And then I bawled like a baby. Oh, it was such a big emotional dump, and I wasn't sad and I wasn't happy. I was just, what's going on? So, it was just a really sort of liberating experience, and just to sort of understand and have a bit of a philosophical look at it, I guess, as you pointed out. And then it wasn't until after the fight that I really sort of got a bit of a better understanding that even though we're fighting, I now more look at it like we're competing, and with this competition, it's a gift. So what I'm giving that other person is an opportunity to test themselves, and what they're giving me is an opportunity to test myself.
Yeah.
And I find that really, that's why that's why I competed, or why I'd still like to compete in the future, is because, it is a very special thing to me to be able to go, well, hey, look, you know what, like, you look at the camaraderie that we have generally after a fight and even before a fight. Like I've never fought anyone I don't like. I have a relationship with most people that I fought with outside of after the fight as well, whether it's just a quick catch up and a beer or a bit of a you have your hug and you thank each other, etc. But like that's what's important to me is that these people I've had 8 professional fights and I've got 8 people who I have, regardless of whether win, loss, draw, or however the fight's played out. Like I have a connection with these people, and I'm very appreciative of the fact that they gave me an opportunity to test myself, and I would hope to think that they're appreciative of the fact that they gave me this opportunity to test myself as well.
And how long after that first fight did it take you to come around that realisation that this isn't a fight, this is a competition, and to come about that perspective? Was it after that emotional dump and
it was
in
probably,
the weeks thereafter?
Well, yeah, like I said, he landed a couple of good shots, and it probably was when I was sitting on the couch at home. Your face is all swelled up. I was in a bit of world of pain, going like, man, why would I do this? Like, but then on the other hand, I'm like, and that's probably where it come about. Like, is that understanding and realisation a few weeks, like a couple of days later, where it was like, okay, this is why, and and that's why I feel very comfortable. It's a weird thing to say, but I enjoy fighting. Like, and I don't enjoy going down the street and punching on with people. That's not, to me, that's not something that you should enjoy. But I enjoy that competition and that opportunity to like I said, test myself. Like I find it's really rewarding. I can't recommend enough. I can't say enough to enough people that everyone should get to a combat gym, and not just to punch on with people, but obviously I think it puts a lot of things in perspective. If you get into a competition or a fight or however you want to frame it up with someone, right, are your problems that big outside? Like getting punched in the face doesn't hurt. Like when you get punched in the face, it doesn't hurt.
You were mentioning that last week.
Yeah.
Like when
surprisingly not that painful.
Like when you get cut, like it doesn't hurt. You know what hurts is a couple of days later, you're sitting there and your face is all bruised up, and you've actually got that moment to reflect and look at it. And when in the moment, that's probably the best way to frame it. In the moment, it doesn't hurt. Okay, and that's how a lot of people live. Like in the moment, do you know what I mean? It's when they have that time to reflect later on. So to me, everyone needs to have a fight, because in the moment, it's that might seem like it's the biggest problem, but it doesn't hurt. And then when later on down the track, you've got that opportunity to reflect upon it, and you go, oh, probably shouldn't have done that, or probably should have done this. And every fight, or for me, I run back in my head and go, that's probably where I fucked up, or that's probably where I won.